All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you, just like me. So, Naomi Judd's real cause of death has been confirmed, and she did take her own life. And look, I'm not going to nitpick with the way uh, the Judd family handled this, her husband, and obviously her daughters, right? I it's tough to see this happen right before you're supposed to be honored at a prestigious event, which was the Country Music Hall of Fame. And the day before, see, one thing I'm going to say here, and I think I would get a lot of agreement, right? Why would you go to that event still? Why would you show up for that event? I don't care if you're accepting an award. I don't care. I mean, you just lost your mother. Or your wife? Why would you attend the event at all? I would be like, sorry, can't go. I'm not going. This is just too much. It's too crazy. It's too intense. Why would I want the public spotlight on, my mother and the situation at that moment? You always hear that the family wants privacy, right? And this is one of the things they made statement about wanting privacy. But then you go out in public, you want privacy, but yet you want to go out in public, right? So that's a little confusing to me. I'm not trying to throw shade at the Judd dynasty, the Judd legacy, or the Judd family for that matter. It just seems kind of weird that you would just do this and show up and make a statement. And why not sit this one out and maybe just have someone accept the award on your behalf? That's, I think, something that would have been very appropriate, and I think more in line with the emotional state that many people were in who were close to the situation. That's my conclusion on that. Now, my second video on this topic, I think some people, looking at the headline, didn't really get what I was trying to say in the video, right? So Naomi Judd, she had problems as a child. I think she was molested as a child. So this is not pleasant. And then maybe a whole series of events, including her diagnosis, I think it was hepatitis, back in 91, which I think broke the Judds up, because her doctor said, you got to do this and that. You can't be out on the road, and you can't be doing what you have been doing now for the past decade or so. So the Judds were no more. The daughter goes on and she, does really well. She was on country radio all the time in the 90s. They adapted a bit. They made her a bit of a sort of a rebel character, Winona Judd. She was more of like they're trying to make her more into like the Waylon Jennings, Hank Williams. They're trying to do that with her image, and I think they were successful doing it. And I think she pulled it off, musically too. I think she did a great job. So her mother out of the spotlight, a lot of these things accumulating. And what I was trying to make this point about how the last 2+ years with the fear, okay, and the lockdowns and sort of this new normal, there are some people that couldn't handle the old normal. And now you're going to bring in a new normal, and then you're not going to actually have an end date to that new normal. Some people say, well, hey, this is how we're going to have to live forever now, and this is the new normal. And most people, or many people, accepted that. They were like, yeah, it's for the greater good, and we have to do our part. We have to keep everybody safe. And the point I had was that collateral damage, including mental health issues, those things don't seem to register. They don't. And in other words, you could do this whole big flow chart of the pros and cons of doing what we did for 2+ years and still doing it and still calling for more of this stuff in some situations. And little kids now are going to have to go to CVS, or some people are forcing that issue, even though I don't think the majority of parents want to do that. I'm pretty sure. I mean, they'll probably release a poll that they cherry pick all the data and say, look, people have been waiting for this, and now they'll show people lining up for it. And I'll be like, what? It's dystopia. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people, when this started, went in this direction, and I just stayed still. I didn't go in the other direction. I just stayed where I was, and I'm watching this going, okay, nobody thinks this is wrong. Nobody thinks this is authoritarian. Nobody thinks this is unusual. And I still, to this day, see people doing things out there that boggle my mind. It's like, when are you going to let go? I don't feel comfortable letting go. I watched a video the other day of this person explaining as to why they're never going to get rid of their oxygen inhibiting device. They're going to keep it. They're going to have it alongside, like a security blanket, like a binky, right? Oh, well, this just will help me stay safe. And how much of that can somebody with a normal, when I say normal, maybe somebody who's not suffering from severe mental health issues, how much of that can the normal people take? And then you've got people like Naomi Judd out there who aren't even being factored in to this equation of doing all of these measures, all of these wonderful things. And then you've got all of this celebrity class saying, you line up and you do your due diligence. You do this for the greater good. And if you don't, you're a Neanderthal. Oh, okay, Nostradamus. Sure. No problem, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Sebastian Bach, whoever else. Like, there were the majority, an article after article. So-and-so blasts his critics because they're not willing to be, hypnotized into this new normal. That's what it is. That's what it is. I didn't change, all right? All of these people changed. And so in the case of Naomi Judd, right, I would have this one question for the family. I think she should have been cared for in a way that, and this is authoritarian in a way, but in her situation, there should have been somebody monitoring her situation all the time if she was this bad. If she was this bad, and I'm sure, I don't know, the family, they must have known where she was as far as her mental health issues. It's almost like they're saying, well, everything was fine, and then all of a sudden this. I don't think that is probably the case. I think everybody's family wants to protect their flaws, right? If your family has a problem, person has a temper, person is depressed all the time, whatever it is, you're probably not selling that to your friends. You're not saying, hey, come over to my house where my wife will yell at you and where I'll sit in the corner and look at my shoes, look down. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. You don't typically enunciate or publicize the negative parts of your family. And there were probably a lot of people who didn't know that Naomi Judd had these issues. They knew she was out of the Judds. They knew she was out of the spotlight. They probably didn't understand that she was struggling internally. And then the society itself says, it's collateral damage. That's what was my second video. That's why I said that. Because you've got to weigh, well, we're just trying to mitigate this problem. Okay, well, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And you're creating all these other problems along the way that are going to be long-term. And the longer you continue with this fear, some people say fear porn, I don't know, but the longer you continue with it, the more ripples of collateral damage will go out for years and years, and who knows when that will stop. It's only going to stop when the population at large says, okay, all right, we hear you, we understand what you're telling us, but we want to go back to living our lives, and we will take the risk. I know people hate, well, you're willing to, yeah, I'm willing to take the risk. If you don't want to take the risk, then you do the hermetically sealed, stuff, and then that'll make you feel safe, right? That's the whole point. It doesn't, to say that that's made any difference at all. I can't say what I want to say here, because obviously, people are going to shut it down if I do. So I'm just saying, you do the thing that makes you feel safe and comfortable. The rest of us will look on and do what we want to do. But then there's another group of people who are going to hear this again on the news each day. They're going to keep consuming this. Even if they turn it off, they're going to get a glimpse here or there. They're going to drive down the road and see some kind of sign stressing the importance of going to Walgreens or whatever it is, and it's never going to go away. It's never going to go away. They're going to keep introducing new forms of this as time goes on. And some people are just going to check out. Naomi Judd, I mean, most of her stuff was probably as a result of her personal problems, her upbringing when she was a kid and all that stuff that went down. And then maybe some other things that happened throughout her life that put even more stress on her. But do you think it's healthy to foist more of this on society in general with people who already have pre-existing problems? And by the way, that's a theme for all of this, because people aren't made perfect. Well, they might be made initially very well, but things go wrong as their life goes on. It's just part of living, and it's unfortunate. So, this isn't really a surprise about the real cause of death here, because like I said, you don't just keel over from mental illness. I've got mental illness, and then boom, there may be an instance where something goes wrong in your body or in your brain. I don't know of that as a condition, but there's probably a condition. And I'm sure there's a company out there who's got a product that they can give you that can help fix this with, 1,000 side effects that are possible. And they'll advertise it during prime time. And, we can't just fix all our problems doing this. There'd be bottles of pills everywhere. Oh, I got to take this pill for anxiety. I got to take this pill to, make me healthier, and this pill over here to control this problem, and it's just, you'd be consuming pills and not food each day. And I think that might be part of the problem. What's in the food, right? Oh, that's another video. That's another channel, another video. But in any event, Naomi Judd, a legend, her family trying to handle this the best way they can. There's no easy way to say this out loud. I would have probably kept quiet for a long time. In fact, who's to say you need to announce any of this and then just wait it out? But again, showing up to the ceremony, I'm just thinking personally, how could I do that? I lose somebody in my family, whatever, and I'm supposed to be honored somewhere. I'm like, screw that. I don't care about the honor. I don't care about making a statement publicly. This is my privacy. This is the time where I don't want to share my stuff with the world. I don't think I need to. If anything, what people should be talking about is how to help people who have these mental health issues. Because if people don't get help, it's this is what can happen. So in any event, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Please, Patreon for $1 a month. I appreciate you being here. And as always, I will see you soon.